All right, hello everybody. My name is Mark Morin here with 206.com, and I am here with Miss Shannon Maree Walsh. Hello, Shannon.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
I'm good.
So you are here for the Seattle Shorts Film Festival, which
I
is
am.
going on November 14th and 15th. Right now it's Saturday morning. The film festival just got started, and
Yep.
I have a chance to sit and chat with you for a minute.
Yep.
So you are a member of the jury panel, so tell me about your duties as a member of the jury and what's going on here for you this weekend.
So there's an all-female jury, and basically, it was about a month ago at this point. About a month ago, we were sent all the films, and I got to sit down for more than a few hours and
Nice.
watch through all the movies. And
So you watched every film?
I watched every single film,
Wow.
and I watched them all twice.
Really?
I do this thing where I watch a movie and the first time it's all about the acting.
Right.
I can't help it. I'm an actor.
Yeah.
I can't help it. And then I have to go back the second time so I can kind of take an all-encompassing look at it.
Right.
So I watched them all twice, and then we were able to vote on different categories.
Sure.
And so this weekend, luckily, the judging has already happened.
Right.
As far as me, I believe there's an audience one that's happening.
So who are all the winners? Just kidding.
Yeah, right.
You can't say that right now.
I don't even know
Right,
actually.
right.
But they were so amazing.
Awesome.
I mean, they're really impressive. It's a lot of impressive work.
Do you have a favorite that you personal
I
favorite?
honestly can't say I do.
Right.
As I was kind of, I was talking about this earlier, but they're so different. Some are truly like a source of entertainment that you can use it as an escape, and then others address issues of our socio-political climate and immigration and
Right.
housing and things that need to have light shed on them.
Right.
So there's and then we have the animation and
Oh, some beautiful stuff.
some beautiful
Yeah.
artistic animations, and there's a lot of variety.
Yeah.
So that was the hardest thing that I had to deal with was picking one that all around
Right.
kind of hit the nail on the head as
Yeah.
far as what art should be made for.
Definitely.
But it was a great, eclectic, and rich variety of films.
Right, absolutely. That's the one thing I noticed of the selection that I was able to view is just the diversity, variety,
So much diversity.
any genre you can think of. So,
Yep.
that's I'm glad that you felt the same way
Oh, yeah.
just the selection available here at the film festival is just outstanding.
I think that's what I was most
I think they did an
impressed by.
amazing job of putting this together. So
They really did, yeah.
One thing I did a little research to come up with some
Yeah.
questions for you. You used to be a championship gymnast.
Was.
You had a lot of experience with that. So
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about how you segued from that into the acting career that you've got
Sure.
rolling.
It was very random, I can tell you that. I was born and raised in Hong Kong, and I began gymnastics when I was 1.
Wow.
And I did it up until, yeah.
Most people are just walking at that
Oh,
point.
yeah, no, I tumbled out of my mother. That's what
Wow.
she always jokes
That's
about.
impressive. What was your score for that tumble?
I'm probably close to a 0. Yeah, probably not too high.
Nice.
And I did it up until I was 17.
Okay.
And I'll give you the nutshell version of the story, but
Sure.
basically around the time that I was getting recruited by schools to do gymnastics,
Mm-hmm.
I had to face the question seriously, do I want to do this in college?
Right.
There's a lot of 5 a.m. workouts and
Wow.
2-a-days, and it's really, it's really competitive.
Big commitment.
Big commitment.
Right.
And I don't think it was where my heart was at.
Sure.
And around that time, I actually went in to be an extra. I'd never acted before. I'd not even thought about acting. I
Yeah.
didn't even know what it was.
Right.
And I had
Had you seen a movie before?
yeah, I'd seen movies. I was like, I was a normal kid. I watched TV shows and I
Right,
watched
right.
movies, but it wasn't something I ever thought I was going to do.
Right.
And then I went, I submitted a headshot just because we had a friend who worked at a theater, and they were doing background roles for Wes Craven's film, My
Right.
Soul to Take.
Sure.
And at the time, it had a different name. And they chose my photo as a kind of featured extra. And then about a year later, I got a call when I thought the movie had finished post-production and was going to come out. I got a call saying, hey, we want to expand your role.
Really?
So so then I got a role in the film, and that was the first thing. So I was extremely lucky. I mean, it
Right.
literally fell into my lap. I had to audition that second time, and that was my
Right.
first ever audition.
Wow. So just out of nowhere, you're in a Wes Craven movie.
Out of nowhere.
Wow, that's
And-
amazing.
And especially with his passing recently. I
Right,
mean,
right.
I can't tell you how much of an impact that it had on me.
Right. No, absolutely.
And he was amazing to work with, and
Yeah.
it was an insane, random, lucky experience.
Right.
And I am so grateful I had that. And then that kind of, I was bit by the bug.
Sure.
And
I can see how that would happen, getting to that opportunity. So speaking of, crazy, insane experiences, you also got to work with Mark Ruffalo, Keira Knightley, and an amazing cast for Begin Again.
Yeah.
So tell me about working with those actors and just that whole experience of making that film.
That was insane as well. I mean, with Begin Again, I knew that Mark, and I believe I knew that Mark and like Haley Steinfeld, I knew that they were attached when I went on. And then I kept reading articles and they were like, Adam Levine is in it now, and CeeLo Green, and Keira Knightley, and Catherine Keener. I love all these people. I was like, holy cow.
Oh my gosh.
What am I getting myself into?
Right.
So then I kind of just decided, like, okay, use this as a learning experience.
Right.
I mean, you're around people like Mark Ruffalo and Keira Knightley, you better use this as a learning experience.
That's what I was going to ask, is like, what do you feel is like the biggest thing you took out of working with them?
I think the biggest thing I took out of it was how both Mark and Keira, a lot of my scenes were with them, were so calm.
Right.
And if ever there was, there's one day there was a lot of press and paparazzi right behind the camera when we were shooting.
Really?
And I was overwhelmed because I'd never been in a situation like that. And Mark and Keira were both like cognizant of it, as in they came up to us and were like, "Yeah, you guys okay? How are you dealing with this?"
Oh wow.
And they were just so composed.
Right.
And they definitely are, it seems like they definitely took their career so seriously, but they were also just really down to earth people.
That's
so
great
I
to
think
hear.
that being around people that you want to work with and being someone other people want to work with is really important to me now. So
it was probably a bit of a surprise because you think Keira Knightley, movie star, Pirates of the Caribbean, everything she's done. Mark Ruffalo is the Hulk and all of the things he's done. But one thing I really like about Mark Ruffalo is he seems to do these large, like the Marvel movie, so that he can do stuff like Begin Again and make these independent films. So
I learned a lot from him. Where there was one scene we were shooting that we had to be like stuck in this kind of building before we came out and shot, and it was just me, Ian, who plays my brother, and Mark. And so we did a lot of chatting just while we were waiting, and he's also really politically active. And I would like to say I'm someone who wants to be like that, and if I'm like fortunate enough to find more success, I want to be someone who has a voice in a political community and who speaks her mind on certain issues. And he is someone who does that, so I really look up to him for that.
Yeah, if you follow his Twitter feed, you can definitely tell he is active, so that's great.
He totally is, with the environment and going green, and especially in, he's definitely one of my role models, and even more so after that experience.
Sure, no, that's great. So I don't want to make the whole thing about Mark Ruffalo. I also understand that you learned how to play the cello for this role. So tell me a little bit about that.
That was not easy. I played the violin for 7 years.
Sure.
So
while doing gymnastics?
Yeah, that was what I did at school. It was like, at school they tell you to pick up an instrument. I just really liked it, so I loved the violin. So I did violin for a long time. Before the audition, I hadn't picked up a violin in a little while, but I went in for the audition and I was playing the violin. That's what he knew. But Ian and I both played the violin, and we were going to play brother and sister, and he didn't want us both. John Carney, the director, didn't want us both on the same instrument. So one of us was going to have to take the cello. And he was like, "So, which one of you wants to do it? Hey, Shannon, how about you?" And I was like,
So you didn't even really have a say or a choice.
I'm not sure. It's like a very eclectic, strange band, the band in the movie. So I kind of think maybe it was slightly more atypical for a girl to be on the cello. I think that might have been why, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so begins about, I think I had a month before shooting to learn the cello. And it's about a month, something like that. And I took private lessons, and it took me, I was practicing like 6 hours a day. I mean, I would go into my private lessons with like Bop Bop Black Sheep and like Mary Had a Little Lamb and really simple songs. And I remember being sent the sheet music, and I was like, holy cow.
Completely different level.
What am I going to do? So I just had to learn those songs, and I would practice them incessantly. But I kind of really like the cello now, so I kind of want to stick with it. But yeah, I learned it completely for that. And yes, it's similar to violin, but my hands are kind of small, and you like have to spread your fingers out a lot on the cello. It was.
That makes sense. A bit of a challenge that way.
It was a bit of a challenge.
So now, one of the things I liked about the movie itself was you guys were all playing and singing. There wasn't anything like, fake about the performances.
No, it was very real.
So that really is a testament to the effort that you put in. The fact that, like I said, excuse me, the fact that, like I said, Keira Knightley, I never knew she could sing.
Yeah,
All of a sudden,
beautiful.
here she is. You're like, wow, beautiful voice. So I think that was one of the real unique charms of the movie. So it's really neat to hear some of that background of the effort that you put into that. So,
yeah, and I was the only one that wasn't. All the other guys in the band, it was just me and Keira were the only girls. Everyone else in the band is a phenomenal musician. That's what those guys do with their life.
Right.
Ian's really into musical theater, and then Harvey and Kenna are music people. I mean, they're in bands, and I think one of them works on a record. A record label or something like that. I'm not too sure, but they're all phenomenal musicians.
Right. Now you guys did some actual performances too, live, right?
We got together and became a band called Sweet 27.
Oh wow!
So we actually we played at the premiere, and
Really?
At the premiere for the film, at the party at the premiere,
that's
and then
amazing.
we also did a couple. I'm forgetting now, but we performed at the South Street Seaport for. I don't remember what it was for, but we've done a few live performances, and we're all really close. We keep in touch. It was a good crew. It was a good crew, and they're all so talented.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It was so fun.
Right.
It was so fun.
So just kind of go over what we've talked about a little bit. Championship gymnast, actress, celloist. Is that the right term? Celloist.
Celloist.
So
Yeah.
very, very diverse background. A
Yeah.
lot of talent. Some might say you're a superhero.
Yeah.
So
Ha.
so given that,
Yeah.
I had a question I wanted to throw out to you. With a lot of the Mark Ruffalo is the Incredible
Right.
Hulk. So we got a little bit of a segue there. If you could pick of being a Marvel superhero
Oh God.
or a Star Wars like Jedi Knight, which one would you pick? And is there a particular superhero or Star Wars character that you would want to play?
I think I would go with Marvel superhero.
Yeah.
Oh God.
They are casting for Ms. Marvel.
I know, right? I would go with Marvel superhero.
Right.
And if I had a superhero power,
Right.
if it could be any power, I would choose. What's the thing called in Harry Potter where they apparate? I would choose to be able to apparate
There you go.
anywhere because I love traveling.
Right.
And if I could just apparate to South Africa or Bali whenever I wanted, that would be pretty great.
Or you could go to Mars and save Matt Damon.
He's
Right?
probably still up there, right? At that rate.
No, that would actually be a really good choice.
I
'cause
think that's what I
you
would
wake up in the morning and say, I want to go to Bali.
Come on.
Bam, you're there.
Yeah, right?
That would be amazing.
And it'd be cheap.
Right? Exactly. So
Yeah.
given that superpower and, I think that would pretty much cover anything that you would want to do.
Right.
So what do you have going on moving forward? Any acting projects coming up? I know there's a film that you have with Susan Sarandon that's
Yes,
still
Kid
in
Witness.
post-production right now?
To be honest, I'm not totally sure what
Sure.
it's doing, but it's done and it's completed, and
Sure.
I'm just not sure when it is coming out.
Oh, gotcha.
But I've seen it, and that will be coming out. So Susan Sarandon stars in that, and Ripley Sobo, who's phenomenal. And I took some time off to graduate. I just graduated in May.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
To finish up school. And so as of actually a week ago, I'm changing a lot with my agency and team back
Right.
home,
Okay.
which has actually been really great.
Nice.
So I'm really happy with all the changes that have gone with my team. And so that's coming out, and I've been extremely busy auditioning.
Sure.
So I think I'm looking very much forward to this year. I
A lot
think
of
it's
stuff
gonna be
on
a
the
really good
horizon
year. I
then,
think
hopefully.
that there's a lot bubbling.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, I think it's gonna be a good year.
Awesome.
Excited.
Well, thank you very much for speaking with me
course.
for a
Thank
few
you
minutes,
so
and
much.
have fun with the rest of the festival.
I
And good
will.
luck with your career.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.